Paging Aitken Robertson to courtroom number 2. The jury is back with a verdict. Members of the jury, how do you find the accused? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty on all accounts, Your Honor.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Legally Speaking. Today we're talking about DUI convictions and what is called collateral consequences. Richard, can you start by explaining what that means?
Sure, Melanie. There's the obvious consequences of a DUI conviction. Perhaps you're fined, you have to pay a victim surcharge. Perhaps if you're really unlucky, you go to jail, and certainly you lose your license for a period of time. But there's other consequences. They're called collateral consequences or indirect consequences. They also include such issues as reputational damage and impact on your life, your career, your reputation, even your family.
If someone is convicted of a DUI, they could face issues beyond just the court penalties.
For sure. For instance, let's talk about travel. Right now, if you had a DUI conviction, you can still travel to the States so long as you own up to it at the border and are honest about it. But there's legislation before Congress, which will likely pass, which will make it more difficult for Canadians to go into the United States or even stay there, even if they're already there. As well, the European Union is going through the same process, and it may be in the future that anyone from any country may have a problem going to the EU to travel or to stay there.
That would be a really big deal for people who travel for work or have family in the US. So what about career impacts?
A DUI conviction can seriously impact your opportunities. Many employers see DUI as a red flag, so you might miss out on a promotion or even lose your job altogether, especially if driving is part of your role. It may also limit your ability to volunteer in certain roles, particularly those involving vulnerable population. For instance, coaching your kids soccer or baseball or hockey.
And then what about insurance? I've heard that a DUI can cause premiums to go up.
It's really bad news with insurance, Mel. Your insurance will go up multiple times, 2 or 3, perhaps 4 times what you're presently paying, and it'll last between about 3 and 5 years. Basically, insurance companies consider people with a DUI to be high-risk drivers, so they charge much more to cover that risk.
That does sound costly. And then what about the social impact?
Absolutely. Once you have a criminal record, it leads to stigma. People who find out, whether through social media, background checks, at work, or word of mouth, might judge or distance themselves. That can impact your relationships, your friendships, and even your reputation in the community.
So speaking of relationships, what about family court matters? Could a DUI affect things like custody in a family court matter?
Certainly could and does. If you're involved in the custody or access dispute, a DUI conviction, even a charge actually, can be used against you. The opposing side might argue that this suggests a lack of responsibility, especially if there's concern about drinking and driving with kids in the car. Losing your license also limits your ability to transport the children, which might impact custody and access arrangements.
Are there any other legal consequences? Let's say, for example, civil lawsuits.
If there's any kind of an accident, for sure. If you're convicted of a DUI, you could be sued. Obviously, your insurance company would cover you for any loss for anyone you hurt or damage to their car, or perhaps a telephone pole was taken out. You're covered for all of that. But the insurance company is going to refuse to pay for your own car, the collision damage, together with any out-of-pocket medical expenses you have for rehab or physiotherapy or crutches or anything like that. And if it's been a big accident, a big injury, and you're really hurt, it could end up being hundreds of thousands of dollars of potential loss.
Wow, that is a lot to consider. So a DUI conviction really goes far beyond just paying a fine and moving on.
Absolutely. The legal penalties are just the beginning, and the collateral consequences can impact you for years to come. That's why if you're facing a DUI charge, it's crucial to understand what's at stake and consult with an experienced criminal lawyer.
So, Richard, what are the consequences with a DUI charge and someone who is an immigrant or trying a permanent resident or immigration situation in Canada?
This is a really serious topic, Mel, and it's why we always have to ask our client what their citizenship is. It matters. If you're a Canadian citizen, obviously you're not going to have this problem. But if you're convicted of a drinking and driving charge and you're not a Canadian citizen, you could be deported. As well, it can impact your ability to become a Canadian citizen.
Well, thank you so much, Richard. This has been so helpful. If anyone you know is facing a DUI charge, remember that these consequences are serious and it is important to get the right legal advice. So thank you for joining us today on the Aitken Robertson YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and take care. Thank you for tuning in to Legally Speaking, proudly brought to you by Aitken Robertson Criminal Defence. We represent clients facing criminal charges all over Ontario, providing you with legal support and dedicated advocacy. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more content, please like and subscribe to our channel. For more information, visit our website. We also offer free books on various types of criminal charges, which you can request on our website or by using the QR codes on your screen now. For legal assistance, call us today or visit our website to request a meeting with one of our experienced lawyers or licensed paralegals. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Legally Speaking.